Luke was at the ADCC Open in Miami. Took second place. We got his 2 matches, but we're gonna have him on stream on Wednesday night, so he'll be in with us going over the footage, which I'd much rather do than talking about it without him giving his insight into what was going on during the matches. So you're just gonna have to deal with it, Jordan. In the meantime, we got footage from yesterday, maybe a bit shorter. I think we got about 40 minutes worth of footage to go over. So wrapping up our side control week, I went over some submission positions. So we'll see if any of you guys looked for that, the stuff that I went over during class during this. Yeah, I know. You haven't been there, Ronnie, and your presence has been, or your lack of presence has been felt, and we don't like it. Oh, we want you back. What's up, Ben? Is there any other Jordan? What did Danny do there with the quickness? Oh, no. Okay. Andre shoots, looking for a single, head to the outside, and Danny's able to get to the makings of a rear crucifix. What do I get on Alex over there? Oh, just an inside trip. So this is a really simple setup and something I really like. Good. Finally. Need to get back to class. Stop helping out all those veterans and stuff that you do. Quick pull with the collar tie. You can do it with an underhook too, a shallow underhook. Get him stepping, really big step, and notice we're in this kind of T foot shape position. Makes it really easy for me to step in behind, hook the leg, and then pull him backwards with that, and I can get him down. Andre managing to get safe. Good hip movement from Andre. Wrist control really saving me here as Alex tries to work on front headlock and then rolls me through my Uchimata, which always happens. Always happens. Got Ben and Coop. Coop getting after it. Good pummel on that underhook. What's the use of learning side control? No easy oil check entries from there. I mean, from there you can really set up some good oil checks. You got to transition to different positions. North South also lends itself to the position really well, which, you know, if you're not creative enough to find an oil check from North South and Noki, then you might need to explore other hobbies. I mean, yeah, yeah. Not all oil checks are easy. Danny and Andre, did they just stand back up? Danny creates space. Ish ditches the... Okay, Andre gets up, lets him up. And what happened to Alex here? So Alex really pulling me down. Not getting much with it. That was a nice movement from Andre. Let's look at that again. So Danny starts setting up this over-under. He's got a shallow underhook here. He's got Andre looking at the mat, and I know he's looking to, even before seeing this, looking to kind of, Tomonagi, sitting, taking him over the head. He's been doing that to me a lot lately. And Andre goes with it and immediately gets up on the turn. I think that's something Andre does possibly better than definitely better than any other white belt in the school, but better than a lot of us is he doesn't accept, he doesn't take a stagnating position when he's dealing with this stuff. He is constantly moving, and if you're not putting him down and controlling him, he's going to win the exchange every single time. Oh, the hair take. Yeah, I heard about this. I missed it. Where did this happen? Okay, so you sit. This is right up in line with oil checking. So grab by not just a collar tie, but a full hair tie. That's awesome. This is good because Cole's growing out his hair. and, and we need to constantly do this to him. This is Ben going for the arm triangle. Let's go back to this. That, oh my God, Andrew, that made my day. Ben, you've been on this arm triangle a minute. It's hard strangling these skinny boys. It is. That was super rad. So Ben looking for this arm triangle. Got the leg stuck. Cooper's trying to hold on to that left leg of yours, or right leg rather. Making the slip to mount. I like this just because you can maintain position. Like you don't have to immediately try to jump for this. You're kind of even keeping your leg in there. Like you're not in any rush to finish this. Even Cole's laughing. Looks like Andrew's trying to think about going into the legs. Cole's got that inside position. Cole checks his hair. Back take on Alex. Danny looking for a leg lock now. Let's see if you can get Andre isolated. Gets him down to the butt. That's a steal at twice the price. That freemium model. Damn, good defense from Andre. That whole time, Danny really had him in a bad spot. Like Danny was keeping him off balance really well here. Let's go back to the beginning. So this is nice. Danny working a standing guard break. And Danny doesn't even really try to, I guess the guard's kind of already open. Like Andre's legs are open. See, kind of thinking double ankle. Danny just pinches his knees before even getting to the point where I typically tell you guys to pinch your knees, like when you're getting put down and it's not your choice. So that gives Danny the opportunity to enter the legs. Now we get this long fight. Danny's got to get the leg isolated, but then he's got to get Andre to his butt to make any real use of that leg isolation. Hand fighting from Andre. Trying to pummel his legs free. That's a good fight. Cole, meanwhile, working to a mounted triangle. Send me the footage of you guys collabing, and we'll go over it here. Probably get kicked off Twitch though. It's all right. We'll go over to Kick. I don't want to find out if Cole knows how to do a mounted triangle or not. I would just as soon never be in between those ham hocks. I wish I could see what he's switching to here. Looks like he just slapped Andrew. Andrew looks like he responded to being slapped. What was Ben doing? Ben going shin pin and then passing off. This looks like, Ben, if I had to guess, you're going for the shoulder drop triangle entry we went over during class. Yep, picking the head up. So he scoops the head, gets his hamstring to the shoulder here. And then what you can't see, and what I hope Ben is doing, is grabbing his left shin with his right hand. And what I want to see Ben do is fall to this shoulder in this direction. So not to your back, but to your shoulder. 20 seconds to work here. It's good. That was a little too much to your back, Ben. Like, that was down to your butt. Where's my player? There we go. I don't see a shin grab. Drop the move today. Can't reach my ankle. Nah, I mean, you're almost there. The other thing, you're going to have to, like, the big reason you want to fall, maybe I didn't say this during class, another important reason you want to fall to your side, really, really to your side, is because you got to get weight off of this leg so that you can maneuver it over and get into the triangle, right? It's any sort of weight that's on that leg is going to make it hard to move it to the position you need it to be in. But you have the makings of it. Like, that's Inoki, if you're not familiar with that, that triangle entrance from side control is super slick. I know Danaher calls it a shoulder drop triangle. You might be able to find a video of it on YouTube or in one of those instructionals if you have those. But probably my favorite triangle entrance. Jason and Jordan over there. All right, now just try to survive. What did Danny do? So Andrew, he catches you looking at the mat. That's all Danny's going to do to you guys. That's his move of like the last 2 months. You got to be ready for it. What's so good about that triangle entry, Inoki, is I find you get to the angle, that 90-degree angle that you always try to cut when you do triangles. You get to that angle so easily from there. If you really fall to your side, like truly drop to your shoulder, and if they roll up towards you and like get to their knees, you're already like halfway to that angle, and it takes nothing to finish the rest of it. It's such a great entry. It's immediately tight. How the hell did I do that? I forgot what single I shot here. Just a shitty ankle pick because I'm not taking my own advice and putting my pinky down to the mat. Picking up at the knee. He's giving me some pressure, so I got to drive this way to lighten that leg up. And then now I just try to tree top him, get the leg up nice and high. Good awareness from him to control my ankles and prevent me from locking up an Ashigarami. Good. Add that one to your repertoire. It is well worth knowing, and like, you don't have to, it's cool. I think it's cool to be able to go to a triangle and a high percentage one without having to like get to mount, set up a mounted triangle, which can be really difficult. And then either fall to your back or whatever. Like, that's such a good entry, in my opinion, that you don't see frequently. There we go. So taking Andre through some hip escaping pointers. Andrew do. Okay. Yeah, Danny just still going to sit. Andrew denies it, but is in butterfly. This was something I feel like happens to me a lot, especially with Luke. Like I'm 4 pointed up here after a failed takedown attempt. I try to hit the sweep single. You guys who are at class, this is a better example of what a sweep single looks like at speed. Just notice my the movement of my legs, right? Sweeping around the side. That's why they call it a sweep single. But then now as Andre tries to load up and take my back, he doesn't have his leg free. He has no hooks in. And I pretty much just have to like put my head down, let him slide off my back, and then I'm safe. That's the danger of trying to load yourself up on somebody's back too much before you have any leg connection. At least one hook can prevent that. It doesn't totally shut it down, but it can prevent it. Danny looking for... Oh, almost gets a sweep. Or he does get the sweep. There we go. Yeah. Especially when drilling in the training room. Just spam Kani Basamis. There's so many like gnarly videos out there of that move going wrong. I love that move. I've tried to use it. I tried to use it the one time I did a Grappling Industries tournament back when I was a purple belt. That was the worst competition I was ever in. Performance wise, I did terrible that day. But I tried to hit a Kani Basami and almost got it, but they allowed it. Like it was not against the rules at purple belt. So I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna try to hit one of these today. And hope nobody does it to me. I totally missed how I got to this triangle. Oh, okay, yeah. Andre starts getting me off balance. And it's kind of just biding my time. I think his arm is tucked. His right arm is tucked. So now as he goes, he starts to posture up on the elbow. And that gives me all the room I need there. I sink my leg in. And I'm trying to get to that angle as quickly as I can. I grab my shin. But I don't get to the angle I need. I know I only have a few seconds left, so I just hold on so Andre doesn't kill me. I'm getting there, but I just don't get the foot in place. What's up, James? How you feeling, man? Miss you, bud. Cole has a good offensive round. I was just letting him work. Of course. Jordan looking for a shot on Bin. Alex. What's Alex going to do with that? Alex, you got to work faster than that, buddy. Especially with John. John doesn't give away free takedowns. So Alex in on the leg. Looking for the treetop. When you guys do this move, use both arms. This collar tie isn't going to do anything with his leg up here. So get this arm underneath the knee, get this arm underneath the ankle, and rip his, like, make his toes touch the ceiling. That's what I did with Andre. That's how you're going to get guys down with the treetop. You feeling better? Are you like on the mend, or is it still like lingering? I've never had the pleasure of having pneumonia. Ooh, Andrew looking for the ankle pick. All right, Andrew. So the big thing here, like your connection, the fact that you got that connection to the ankle is really solid. Like that's hard to do. A lot of guys will step away pretty quickly. You catch Andre standing square, so that's awesome. You've got the outside grip, so you know your thumb pointing up, your hand on the outside. You need to get your other hand on the hip and sit up towards him with this. You can see now in retrospect, you pulled that ankle and you're kind of putting your whole body into pulling it like you're starting a lawnmower. You need to get up towards him because now, you're falling back, he's falling back. No one's going to win this. It's a scramble, and this isn't a scramble like a good one where you have a chance of winning. It's like a coin toss, who's going to get up first. So pull and lean towards him. Okay, all right, that makes sense. As long as you understand that. You do look like you kind of fell backwards as opposed to like deliberately doing it, but you get up anyway. You got up faster, so that was good. Yeah, just keep that in mind when you're going for that. Ankle pick from there is like one of my absolute favorite open guard moves. Alex goes for the Kimura here. Little knee tap rundown, I think. Do you have a collar tie with the left hand? You're talking about on the ankle pick? Or are you talking, you're talking about with the treetop. I don't know. I don't know which move you're talking about. If you meant ankle pick with the left hand, no, he did not. And when you're I'm sorry, the collar tie with the left hand on the ankle pick, that's really, really valuable and almost, I would say, completely essential if you're standing. If you're seated, it's going to be really hard to get it. So that's why if you're attempting it from a seated position, the hand to the hip, so you're pushing at the hip and pulling at the leg, should suffice. Even if they don't fall when you do it, you'll still be able to get their weight on their other leg and unweight the leg that you're trying to get. If they're stupid enough to come at you with like totally broken posture and you can get a collar tie, hit the traditional ankle pick with the collar tie. It's a great idea. It's just a little less common if you're seated. Dude, I would say it's a mistake on their part. If you're getting that move on them, then they really need to rethink how they're approaching a seated opponent. Talking about the same hip as the ankle picked ankle. I'm going to say I personally don't think it matters too much. The hips are kind of you got two hips, but like it's kind of a central point. So as long as you're pushing through the hips and you have the connection to the ankle, you're going to move their hips backwards. And which is what you're really trying to do. Where your hand ends up, if it's either on the ankle picked hip or the other one, I'm not convinced that matters too much. And I'm willing to have my mind changed about that. Double leg from Alex. John taking it down to the ground and getting top position afterwards. And then I'll throw in, what are we at? 3.5 minutes? 2.5 minutes. Just because we're harping on the ankle pick right now. And some of you guys, I know some of the students have seen me teach this. Andrew, like I said earlier, he's using a traditional grip where the thumb is pointing up, his hand is on the outside. The danger of this, or not the danger, a defense to this is a turnout, right? So if Andre turned to his right, he could basically step out of the grip and kind of get his leg free. If Andrew flips his hand upside down, points his thumb to the ground, and grips from inside the ankle, that opportunity goes away. So that's my personal preference, and this is just me being super picky. That's typically how you're going to catch me hitting that ankle pick. I normally do it against someone in a staggered stance, not a square stance. If they're square, I don't think it matters. Grab what you can, hit the ankle pick however you want to do it. But that's another thing, if you like played around with that, Andrew or Inoki or anybody, flip your grip and aim for the inside and see how that works for you too. It takes away the turnout escape. It may limit you in your ability to like connect to the hip though. I don't know about that, but I have success with it. So You guys give it a shot. Between Andre and I. Let me find this grab. Oh yeah, damn. Y'all are all over the place. Inverted grip, ankle pick, come up on the leg drag. Um, if you're grabbing inside that leg to leg drag, you're gonna have to pass off. So like you'll have to grab the ankle and then use your other hand to hit the leg drag and pull it by. Totally viable. They also, I mean, if you just put them down and now you're the standing opponent against a seated opponent, you can just play whatever game you want. If leg dragging is part of your passing game, that makes sense. If you want to play headquarters or, if their back is off the mat, try to do your body locks. Any which way you like to finish, I think is perfectly valid. So Andrew coming up to front headlock. Andre picks the leg up. Big roll. Another roll. Damn, and Andre gets it. See, that's an example of what I was saying earlier with Andre. He doesn't stop moving until you absolutely force him to stop moving. By wedging him, wedging his hips, wedging his shoulders, getting control of him. If you don't have that, he's just going to keep going and it's going to win those scrambles. It sucks. But that was a bit of a frenzy. Ooh, the Seoinage. So Alex is barreling towards John. John feels it. That's the best setup in the world. Quick turn. John gets his legs in between Alex's legs. See how his hips are falling in between, underneath Alex's hips and in between his legs. Very nice. Follows up with the underhook. Can he drive through on that and get the finish? Trying to go behind. Comes up to a front headlock. Great movement from John. That was sick, man. Into a short choke. And Alex defending. Dude, I love training stand-up with John. I mean, I love training with John, period. But, my stand-up rounds with him have been extremely educational. I learned something every time I roll with him. And I took something away from our round today that he and I were talking about that I'm going to be looking for a lot over the coming weeks. And I'm not going to tell you what it is until I start doing it. But I'm very excited about it, and you all should be very scared. What was your high score on meat spin, Inoki? I feel like you got up there. Sounds like a chip off the old block. Dude, that counter had 6 digits on it, man. That's wild. That's commitment. Actually, I'm making that up. I don't remember what the counter looked like. Taking Cole through a pop quiz here. He gets me into rear triangle. Just awesome. And he immediately attacks the armbar. Killer. Great. That's one. I said, stay here. What else are you going to do? And he goes, okay, I'll do the triangle. I said, all right, cool. What else are you going to do? You guys should be familiar with 5 different moves from that position. I'm not a stickler for you need to know how to do this many things in this position to get your whatever belt. But with the rear triangle, it's very valuable. There are 5 things. You got your straight arm lock, right, or just an arm bar, rear triangle, Americana, Kimura, and a wrist lock. Okay, those 5 things. That's why this position is so powerful, in my opinion. This is, I would opt for this over a rear naked strangle, Because one, I can strangle you with my legs, which is my legs are far more powerful than my arms. And then I have all those other contingencies that I could fall back on. What's Alex do here? Lazy double. Got to be careful with that, buddy. Good turn with that Kimura from John. Looks like Andre settling into mount, putting on some nasty pressure, looking to get that arm isolated. Doing a good job trying to collect that leg, Andrew. You got the ankle, now you got to capture the knee. John is the most humble brown belt in judo you'll ever meet. He trained with us for a couple months before we learned from another student, a friend of his who also came from the school he was at previously, that he was a brown belt in judo. And I believe he did some wrestling too, and some MMA. Like he's a real deal. He's a great competitor and a great training partner. But his judo, like, you get on the mat with him and you immediately know that you're in for it. What I think Peters and I have talked about this, but what he does really well is he'll chain judo and wrestling techniques together, and it's really unstoppable. And then as soon as you try to like double leg him, he just Haragoshis you and lands you flat on your back. He did it to me on stream a couple weeks ago. Is Cole just slapping Danny here? Yeah. Boxes his ears, slaps his ribs. Cole's like, I'm going to train light today. My rib hurts. Oh, doesn't get the turn. Now Danny laying on some of that top pressure. What sweep? What did I miss? Something John did. Ooh. So John with a whizzer. Little Diashi. God, that was nice. Yeah. That was really nice. He tried to hit one of those on me later in our round. Jason's like, shit. That was beautiful. Love me a good foot sweep. How did Andre get down? Does Andre sit? Okay. The Kazushi from the foot sweep. There are multiple ways of doing that. Let me see if we could pinpoint how John's working it. So in this case, with John using a whizzer, he's gonna pull in this direction. The thing with the foot sweep though is there are kind of two classes of them, where you either catch them when they're stepping and they're about to put weight on their foot, like if they're walking towards you and you sweep their foot out as they're walking towards you. I could try. Let me see. This player has a hard time. Like I can't like zoom with a window or something. I think that might be the best you can get, Andrew. What? I know, dude. Hold on, I might be able to try one thing. Give me 1 second. If I can move the... Let's see how close I can get it. Okay. Might be able to work with this. I'm not doing this all the time because now I got to move it back to where it was. So John, we see John has a whizzer there. Jason has this short near side underhook. What John can do with this, like I was saying, he can either push into Jason, way up Jason's back leg. That makes the near side leg really loose, and then he can sweep it and pull him towards that swept leg. Or he can wait for Jason to move towards him, kick that leg out from underneath Jason as he's stepping, and pull with that whizzer. So I hope that answers your question. That's what I think is going on here Kazushi wise. Let's play it in slow mo. Yeah. So he's as John is walking towards him. That's what it is. Oh, this is really beautiful. Okay, so Jason goes to step back. So this is more of like the first one that I was describing, where you catch the foot as it's going to weigh itself up. But Jason steps back, brings his foot close to the other one. These are so good when you catch both feet together. There, right there, you could see John gets both feet interacting, and that's what makes Jason take a big step, and he's way off balance. And here you see Jason's head get outside the feet. Right here, he's already going down. I mean, yeah, there are some really good examples of that at the professional level that are just absolutely gorgeous. Whoops. There we go. Yeah, that's a good point. That additional upper body connection there, it obviously helped him with the push. That's another detail I like in Sasai's full name is Sasai Surikomi Ashi, where you pull your opponent towards you and trip their foot as they step. You see me going for those a lot. Maybe I'll try to hit one in this footage, but that grip on the far side arm is just as important in that and pulling them towards you as it is in Jason or with John when he's pushing him away. If you can just, I mean, what it comes down to, if you can just get the head outside of the feet, like you've got the makings of a great takedown, What did I do to Andrew? That was kind of not really, but if I pulled Andrew towards me, I had a single I was going for. Inoki, have you done judo? Do you have a judo background? Cole putting some of that rear triangle knowledge to work now, I hope. Well, Danny sneaks out the back. I don't like how Danny's using that leg, though. Honestly, I'm kind of in the same boat. I like a lot of judo content on Instagram, and I hate jiu-jitsu content on Instagram. Like there are such good clips of like just ippon moves that really illustrate some awesome fundamentals in judo. Jason looking for the straight ankle there. How do you get into that? So John. Oh, a little sweep from Jason. Yeah, it doesn't quite have there. There might be something he could do with that, but that's a tough straight ankle to hit. I certainly don't know, like, I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of jiu-jitsu. There's always new stuff to learn. But I look at things like judo and wrestling, and my curiosity really pulls me in that direction for that reason. Like, I don't know shit about those either. And I feel like learning them and then blending all of it together, that's where the sport's going anyway. So, like, it's cool to fold that in with the stuff that we do in our fundamentals class, Got Andrew in a triangle here, mounted triangle. I think I ended up using the arm bar on this though. Andrew, you were giving me a lot of trouble in the triangle finish, so had to switch that one up. Bin. looking nasty on that guillotine, dude. I was wondering if Andre would get the better of that. Yeah, that was cool to see that transition because everybody. It took a little bit, but everybody got familiar with leg lock defense, so um, it wasn't a surefire way to win matches anymore. So on man, Andre fell into the stagnation trap here. Even with the head on the outside, like you guys know, I don't care if you shoot singles with your head on the outside. Eventually, as a early white belt, I don't advise this. Andre, I don't care where he sticks his head. He's probably going to put you down. But I think he didn't win this one because he stands still here. If he ran the pipe and took Bin this way, he doesn't have his head in front of Bin, so he's not going to be able to use his head as a lever. But I think he can still use his chest to thigh connection, step this leg back, and then turn in that direction. And that would get Bin falling backwards, possibly even basing out with that hand and taking that hand off of his neck. But now Bin's able to start sprawling, not sprawling, but kicking that leg down, setting his grip in, and he can turn the momentum of that exchange. And then he goes on to his 10-finger guillotine, which I'm pretty sure all of us know by now is absolutely miserable. Andrew, what did you and I do here? You go to throw by, and I just try to get safe and ride out this round, I think. How do you finish? How do you finish which? The 12-finger guillotine or like the takedown here? What do you mean? And yet, Inoki, I feel like this is the frame you're talking about for the chin whip Uchimata. If I want to do the standing guillotine, all right, so standing guillotine from where you're at, like you're gonna have to get your leg back. Here you just get a little off balance, like you could see your hips start to go behind your heel. You're gonna need both feet on the ground, and like it's just like any other guillotine bend. You've got to side crunch into it. So let's pretend like you have both feet on the ground and you've got the better of this exchange. I want to see this elbow starting to drop, like you're doing a side crunch into your hip. Remember, every strangle should have a torsional component to it. It's not just gripping and straightening out and ripping the head, or even necessarily squeezing for dear life like you do when you get your first rear naked strangle. You add a little turn into it as well. For the standing guillotine and any guillotine, whatever side their head is on, I want that elbow that you're using in your grip crunching down to meet your hip. That should add what you need to get that finish. Other than that, just because it's standing, I'm just going to say you need balance. And hell, worst comes to worst, you hit a good takedown, you come out on top. You're at the end of the round, finishing strong. So that looked good. Yeah, Jordan, I completely agree. Dude, when Ben gets me in a 10-finger guillotine, I immediately give up a mount entry. Like I just pick a shoulder, I drop that shoulder to the ground, and I just try to completely turn out of it, and it leaves me wide open to have Ben or anybody step right over my body right into mount. It's like being caught in a katagatame and then just turning and giving up your back. It's like I will give up a position just to get out of that because it sucks so much. Andrew and John, me and Ben warming up for half the round, going through some takedown motions. Then we turn it up. Good night, Jordan. Take it easy, buddy. Pib, what's up,
Huge
brother?
honor for me.
Thank you for the resub, man. I appreciate you. Oh yeah, dude. You stick around long enough, you'll be a black belt. I believe in you. Oh man, today is our 3 years that we have been streaming. We started November 10th, 2021. That was our first stream, or at least the earliest one I have in my database of old streams. So big thank you to you guys for hanging out. Really, really appreciate it. It's gotten bigger and better than I ever thought it could be. Oh well, Anoki, if you start subscribing, you'll be a brown belt like Pib is now. At 9 months, 9 months subscription, you get your brown belt from us. So now Pib is a black belt in real life, but more important, a brown belt in the Mooresville BJJ chat. It's a higher, more venerated, much more respected accomplishment in my humble opinion. I certainly appreciate it, and I know Mike does too. All right, so now Ben and I are trying to kill each other. Thank you, Pip. That's right. Use your Amazon Prime. Oh man, has anything? Yeah, I missed when we actually started to try to murder each other, Ben. Here I am looking for my leg trap on the arm. Doesn't last very long. Danny going for a triangle here on John, but John gets by to side control. Or I'm sorry, not Danny. God, Andrew, I'm so sorry. I'm doing that more and more, man. I'm getting old. I'm mixing up names. Mike and I should like re-stream our first stream, but we'll give commentary over that stream commentary, and I'm sure it'll be atrocious. But you'll have to hear like maybe we'll mute that stream so you can't hear the dumb shit we were saying. All right, let's look at this spin because this was good. I wanted you to work this. So you go to a standing position. I've got the double ankle sweep. You shouldn't care about it because as soon as you go down, you got the leg pinch. This is good. Now, what I want you to think about here is, do I want to pass or do I want to enter the legs? Okay. Either way, before you do either one of those, I need you, this is one of the rare times I'm going to tell you, put your back flat on the mat. Just sit back, hip up, and then V-grip both my ankles. Push my ankles up. And then that's gonna put me on my back and in a much more much less maneuverable position. So I know you're thinking there was a leg entrance here, there was something here, we've gone over this. Just missing the part where you have to get my ankles free, make them vulnerable. So you got the reap. I'll have to check Naga to see if at intermediate you would be okay with the reap. I know, obviously, not the heel hook, but the reap, they may have something to say about that too. But either way, that's good. That's the first steps of you thinking through that move. That's what I want to see. And then I can't even get 30 seconds rest before Cooper tries to come in and murder me. Is that a fireman's carry? So I'm going to be practicing my fireman's carries a lot because Danny and all you tall boys love to break me down from there, get my head to the mat, get your chest or shoulder over my head, and I need to make that a regular thing. You know, the most absurd thing about the 3 years that we've been doing this is it wasn't until this year that I learned probably a vast majority of the streams were skipping and lagging because I kept dropping frames and none of you told me that there were times where it was basically unwatchable. Or volunteer. Shut up, Andrew. It is legal. Reaping is legal at intermediate. Okay, good. Thank you, Pib. I appreciate that. Dude, the Naga rulebook is like a tome, man. It's so long. It's a good thing because they cover a lot of. Oh, that was beautiful. They cover a lot of what if situations, but okay, that makes sense. See what John does here. This is really nice. So shoots a double, and then goes up top with it. This is really cool. This is something you see a lot of pros do, or you know, collegiate wrestlers. And then now, quick direction change. That was so nice, man. One more time. I'm going to steal that. See you later, Andrew. Thanks for sticking around, bud. The only no's are slamming,
huge honor for me.
Squeezing the windpipe. Anoki. Thank you, bro. Thank you for the tier 1 sub, man. Yeah, the first month you get our little lion patch next to your name. Then after that, I think you get a white belt and then a blue. Thank you so much for the subs, guys. It's really, really cool. Like I said, after doing this for these 3 years and to have people who aren't our students hanging out regularly and enjoying the commentary and the camaraderie and the footage and shit contributing, looking up Naga rules for us. Like I love it, man. I really, really appreciate you guys. Anoki, if we ever have the pleasure of rolling together, I'm going to wrist lock you so hard that you're going to oil check yourself. Like, that's how far it's going to bend. It'll be awesome. And we'll record it, and I'll break it down. John doing some wall work here. Getting behind Bin. Sure, you could put that into an AI prompt and get a really, really sick picture out of it. That seems doable, actually. Maybe I'll sign up for Naga and try to hit it at a comp. Danny looking for the cross Ashi entrance, but Jason really trying to stop him. Danny's able to fight through it. What does he get? Does he go knee bar? Yeah. Oh, nice setup again. This time off a foot sweep. So John was we were talking actually about this afterwards. So he goes kind of a Russian tie. I say kind of because he's got this far side wrist grip. Let's see if he changes that. No. So he goes foot sweep, follows through to the body lock, to the outside trip, kind of a Kasoto trip. So that's what I'm talking about, man. That chaining that he does with those judo moves is so sick. All right. Let's see what he and I do. I don't really remember this round too much. I'm sure he ragdolls me at some point. There, he's trying to set it up again. He goes that outside foot sweep. See, he would have chained that together into something beautiful. I just try to meathead my way through it. Running the pipe doesn't work. Bin with a little. Danny gets the reroll. So Bin's got collar tie. Kicks the leg. But Danny can keep him going. That was nice, Danny. So my Uchimata never works on John, and we end up in this position a lot. So I try to roll through to a knee bar. And then now I got to break him down to his butt. This is a tough spot to work from for me. Like I've got to get inverted and really start using some cross shoulder posts and those sorts of things to get him going. Finally, I get through. Now from here, so I kind of play it nice here, in all honesty, because the way John rolled leaves his heel very vulnerable. Because I'm in the makings of cross ashi, go to this backside position, and there I have the heel. There I lock it up, but it's whatever. I don't care about getting it with him. I don't want to crank too hard on this, and then I called him out on this during our roll, right there. That's not the way I want to see you guys escaping when your heel is captured. If I was holding on to this, if this was competition or something, like your opponent turns back against that heel, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And I'm not going to say John doesn't know that or whatever. I just know that John, when he first started training with us, mentioned that I don't think he was as well versed in leg locks as some of the rest of us were, so I knew that was something he was working on. So I really, really drove it home when he did that. I was like, dude, please be careful with that. But yeah, keep that in mind, you guys, if you find yourselves in that position. Now we're into a 50-50. Danny onto an armbar here. Damn, that was nice. Bin's tough to armbar because I think we saw this with Mike actually last stream. Bin, you may remember. I could be another one. Bin is very good with the timing the turn to slip the elbow here. There's Danny's. That's the time you want to start thinking about it. Even though Danny's elbow to elbow, like Danny's got a good grip, but this is still a time when you could slip. See, you try to hit it right there. I think you might have punched Danny in the face, which is even better. Maybe. Where's the? Yeah, there we go. Good shot to the face. That's when Danny's like, I'm going to break his arm now. Yeah, John was trying that same move again on me that he hit on Bin right at the end. He tried it a couple times. So there, the foot sweep, chasing down. And then now he's going to try to turn me back. Almost gets it. But I'm just able to step back, keep my balance, and then breaking the grip. I wanted to stack and roll away, not just give more time. Oh, stack and not roll away. Yeah, you just got to be careful with the stack, man, because that's where he's going to look to switch to a triangle. So what happens here, I talked about this with John afterwards, because I thought I was clever, and then he made me feel like an idiot. He had been stepping this leg back. Every time I shot for his front leg, he steps it back. So I shoot for the front leg on this one, purposefully wanting this leg. I do that, and I leave my head on the outside of the right side of his body, and I just give him my back with an arm trap. It was really dumb. So I go, cool, give me that one. That's what I really wanted. And he goes, well, this is what I really wanted. I was very upset with myself. But that back escape came from noticing he goes to kind of a high ball ride, but he only has my left hip. He doesn't have my right arm, which means I can rotate. So I quickly rotate out and get back to a mount, or him in mount. And then I start looking for double underhooks here to do a bear hug sweep, where I'm going to stand up with him and then take him backwards once I have my hands connected. So there I get his elbows up nice and high. He flails his arms around, and I just take him over with the bear hug. It's good, call it a regard. I mean, he goes to turtle up from there. It was hard for me to shut down, but it leaves his back exposed. Don't want to take him back over his ankles, hurt his knees, so go to the side. Spend the rest of the round trying to pummel under the neck, which he does not let me do. All right, me and Danny to finish off this round. I think anybody else jump in? I think maybe John jumps in. I think we're both pretty tired at this point. Danny's had a tough few rounds. In fact, let's speed this up a bit. So, find some action. A low single, pick the leg up, drive through him because I don't want him to stand back up. He does a good job following me with that knee, but now I'm just working from this top half guard to get chest to chest and flatten him out. Here he shuts down my my turn down towards the legs, which I really like to do to work some various things. Getting my knee free, spinning around to cross ashi, stepping out if I can, if he doesn't let me do that. Nick, all the stuff that we went over like a month or two ago. But he denies it, so I go chest to chest, try to work the far side underhook, getting my knee free, and trying to make my way to mount. Moving right along, some heavy chest pressure, shoulder pressure. Danny working a lockdown to the back take. You'll see us do these chair sit back takes typically with our foot planted, not from lockdown, but it is possible, right? It just turns into a hook. So it's not the best position because I'd rather do a chair sit back take and end it with a body triangle. But if he has my leg locked down, I just turn it into a hook anyway. So not the best, not the worst. And then now he just does everything he can to protect his head and neck. I think we just hand fight for most of the rest of this. Oh, yeah, I say, all right, let's make it interesting. I go for kind of a cross-body ride setup. He takes it as an opportunity to try to hurt me, break my legs. Do I do any last-minute go for broke shots here? I don't remember. Yeah, nothing fancy. But yeah, fun last round. Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sticking with us for 3 years. Mike and I really appreciate it. And more than anything, we appreciate you guys always coming in, rolling, training so well, putting to work the stuff we do at class. It's so awesome to see, and it's been so fun to do this and keep it going. So I hope you guys keep sticking around, keep enjoying it, give us feedback, tell us what you want to see. Stick around. Next Wednesday, we're going to go over Luke's ADCC matches. He'll be in chat or in the stream with us, giving his play-by-play. So that should be entertaining. Naga, November 23rd. We've been saying it for months now. We got 13 days left. So get to class, help Ben train. If you're going to jump in last minute, let us know. We just want to make sure you're ready. And then if none of that's happening, come up and support. We always appreciate that. Inoki, you're the man. Thank you so much for sticking around and asking great questions and giving great commentary. Pib, you as well, brother. Good to see you dropping in. We are moving on to Mount next week. Monday starts Mount. I think Ronnie said she'll be teaching that day. So y'all better get to class and get some Mount work in. Other than that, yeah, I think we're good. Go trim your nails and do your laundry and don't be stinky. And we'll see you back on the mats. Take it easy, guys.